Hola a todos, buenas noches. Hoy es martes 28 de mayo de 2024. Son las 6:45 de la tarde. Falta un cuarto para las 7 en Colombia. Yo soy Mike y les doy la bienvenida al día 15 de nuestro curso básico de español. Charlemos pues. Un curso básico enfocado en temas básicos para hablar español. Hi everybody, good evening. Today is Tuesday, May the 28th, 2024. It's 6:45 p.m., quarter to 7 in Colombia. I'm Mike, and I bid you welcome to day 15 in our basic Spanish course, Charlemos Pues, Let's Talk. Basic Spanish course focused on basic conversation. So we've been learning and studying basic things. We've been studying the simple present tense, simple past tense, the simple future tense. We've been studying articles, how to ask and tell the time. Hey, good evening, TJ. Thank you for being here. Hola, buenas noches. Gracias por estar aquí. And tonight we're going to talk about something interesting. Now, before we start, thanks to each and every one of you, the ones who are here tonight with us. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Naseem, gracias por estar aquí en vivo con nosotros. Thank you for being live tonight with us. Recuerden dar like. Si llegan aquí, por favor, den like. Si están acá, if you are here, please like the video. That helps a lot in order to, with the algorithm, YouTube, this and that, so you know. And of course, and if you like the video, if you like the class. Si les gusta la clase, por favor, denle click. Gracias a todos los que están en vivo esta noche con nosotros. Thanks. Thank to all of you, the ones who are live here with us tonight. Gracias también a quienes nos ven en diferido. Thanks to all of you, the ones who watch us later, because this video is part of a playlist, porque este video es parte de una lista de reproducción. Y también un agradecimiento a los miembros del canal. And thanks to the members of the channel. We really appreciate that. Realmente apreciamos el apoyo. And thanks to all of the people who's talking today. ¿Qué estaremos estudiando hoy? What are we going to study tonight? Hoy vamos a estudiar los comparativos en español. Adjetivos comparativos. Nuestra clase de hoy, tonight's class is going to be about comparative adjectives or determiners. Some people say it's not an adjective but a determiner. Anyhow, this is pretty much the same. Comparative. We're going to compare. And just like in English, when we say you are as good as blah, 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 he is faster than, or she is shorter than, those are comparative structures. And that's what we're going to learn tonight. We could say that we use this to compare things and or compare people, because we use comparative determiners in Spanish as well as in English. Same way, pretty much the same way. And we have three different kinds of comparatives to study tonight. We have comparatives of equality. When we say this is as good as, equal comparison. We have comparatives of superiority, when we say this is more or better than the other one. And we have comparatives of inferiority, when we say this is less than this. So same way in English that we use these three kinds of comparatives, is that we use the same in Spanish. The same basic idea, but the structure is slightly different. The structure that we are going to learn is slightly different than the other one. So let's go there. Give me just a second. That's what we are going to study tonight. That's what we are going to study tonight. Hopefully it's going to be cool. You're going to like this. So first, let's check structures and structure-wise. When we talk about comparatives of equality, they are used to indicate that two elements have the same characteristic. That's pretty much a comparative of equality. That's when we say she's as tall as, sorry. She's as tall as her brother. She's as tall as her brother. Like we say that. So what is the structure in Spanish? This is the structure in Spanish. Just like in English, she is as tall as blah, 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 as his brother, as her brother, I mean. First, we need a subject. Subject A, subject one, the first subject that we are comparing. In the case of the sentence, she would be she. But this subject can be in terms of some other things, like the teacher that we met yesterday. That would be subject one, right? The teacher that we met yesterday is as good as blah, blah, blah. This year's new software, that could be a subject, right? So when I say in the structure, subject one means that. Just not a pronoun, not just a noun. Can be anything. In this case, we're saying she, right? Okay. Then in Spanish, we use the verb to be, just like in English. She is. And this verb to be can be conjugated in different tenses, just like in English. I can say, she was as good as, right? She was in the past. This will be as interesting as blah. We use that verb to be in different tenses. Same thing in Spanish. So structure so far is same as in English. Wow, I used comparative of equality. Then we use the word tan, which would be the equivalent of as. I mean, she is as good as, she's as good as, right? She's as good as. So that as comparative is tan in Spanish. Then we use the adjective. In this case, good in Spanish, of course. You see how in English we say as good as, we use the same as before and after the adjective, as good as. In this case, we say tan como, two different words. And then subject to, which again can be either a pronoun, a noun, or a more complex subject, like the one that we met before. My sister's nephew. Which should be my nephew too. Anyhow, well, you know what I mean, right? So this is the structure in Spanish. So when I say she is as tall as her brother, this is the way we say that in Spanish. Ella es tan alta como su hermano. Ella would be subject one. Es, verb to be for ella. Ella es. Tan, ella es tan. Then the adjective tall in Spanish is alto o alta for feminine. Como, as su hermano, subject to, her brother. She's as tall as her brother. Ella es tan alta como su hermano. So this structure is fairly easy, right? It's understandable. So why don't we practice a little bit with this? So I'm going to give you a sentence in English, and then you're going to use that structure in order to have the sentence, comparative sentence. So same, just like we did. Juan is as tall as Pedro. Juan is as tall as Pedro. Here, if you took note of the structure, right? Let me do this real quick. Give me just a second. So just for you to take note of the structure, right? Please check this, write it down somewhere, keep it handy for the exercise that we're about to start, right? Subject one, then verb to be, of course, in Spanish, then tan, and the adjective, and como, and then subject to, right? You got it? Okay, now that you've got that, let's start practicing. So the sentence goes, Juan is as tall as Pedro. Here, the toughest part is the adjective, tall. Tall. In Spanish, do you know what is tall in Spanish? Alto for masculine, alta feminine. Alto, alta. So the sentence Juan is as tall as Pedro would be Juan es tan alto como Pedro. Juan es tan alto como Pedro. Juan es tan alto como Pedro. See, Juan is as tall as Pedro. We have it. Okay. Next sentence. In English, this book is as interesting as that one. This book is as interesting as that one. Things that we've seen before, right? Things that we've studied before. So, book in Spanish. Libro, book, libro. Interesting, adjective in Spanish. Interesante. So, this book is as interesting as that one. Sentence would be, este libro es tan interesante como aquel. Este libro es tan interesante como aquel. And the sentence is, este libro es tan interesante como aquel. Easy, right? Okay, let's go with another one. Maria is as smart as Anna. Maria is as smart as Anna. Smart in Spanish. Inteligente. So the sentence is way too easy. María es tan inteligente como Ana. María es tan inteligente como Ana. The sentence is, María es tan inteligente como Ana. Okay. Another one. My dog is as playful as yours. My dog is as playful as yours. Dog in Spanish. Easy, right? Perro. Perro. Rolling tongue. Perro. Perro. Dog. Playful. Playful. Adjective in Spanish. Juguetón. 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 So the sentence, my dog is as playful as yours, in Spanish would be, mi perro es tan juguetón como el tuyo. Mi perro es tan juguetón como el tuyo. Mi perro es tan juguetón como el tuyo. Next sentence. The coffee in this cafe is as good as the other one. The coffee in this cafe is as good as the other one. The coffee in this cafe is as good as the other one. Coffee in Spanish, café. Funny thing, café in Spanish, the word café, which is taken from Spanish, funny thing, in Spanish would be cafetería. Cafetería. So, like the coffee shop, right? So the sentence, the coffee in this cafe is as good as the other one would be, el café de esta cafetería es tan bueno como el otro. El café de esta cafetería es tan bueno como el otro. El café de esta cafetería es tan bueno como el otro. Okay. This movie is as exciting as the one we saw yesterday. This movie is as exciting as the one we saw yesterday. Movie in Spanish. You know, right? Película. Película. Yesterday in Spanish. Ayer. Exciting in Spanish. Emocionante. So, this movie is as exciting as the one we saw yesterday. Would be esta película es tan emocionante como la que vimos ayer. Esta película es tan emocionante como la que vimos ayer. Esta película es tan emocionante como la que vimos ayer. Esta película es tan emocionante como la que vimos ayer. See, it's pretty much the same structure that we use in English. My sister is as friendly as my best friend. My sister is as friendly as my best friend. Sister in Spanish. Sister vocabulary. I hope you're taking note of all of these words, whether maybe you knew those or maybe you didn't. Sister is hermana. Sister, hermana. Friendly, friendly. Amigable, amigable. Simpática. Friend, amigo, amiga. Depending on gender. Best, mejor. So my sister is as friendly as my best friend would be mi hermana es tan simpática como mi mejor amiga. Mi hermana es tan simpática como mi mejor amiga. Como mi mejor, como mi mejor. Wow, that's weird, right? Como mi mejor, como mi mejor, como mi mejor. Mi hermana es tan simpática como mi mejor amiga. Mi hermana es tan simpática como mi mejor amiga. Mi hermana es tan simpática como mi mejor amiga. Como mi mejor amiga. Okay. Next, we go with, this song is as beautiful as the one we heard at the concert. This song is as beautiful as the one we heard at the concert. Song in Spanish. Canción. Beautiful in Spanish. Bonito, bonita, depending on the gender. Canción is feminine. La canción. So in this case would be canción bonita. Heard, escuchamos. In the case of we heard, escuchamos. Concert, concierto. So this song is as beautiful as the one we heard at the concert would be, esta canción es tan bonita como la que escuchamos en el concierto. Esta canción es tan bonita como la que escuchamos en el concierto. Esta canción es tan bonita como la que escuchamos en el concierto. Esta canción es tan bonita como la que escuchamos en el concierto. Okay. This city is as big as the capital. This city is as big as the capital. City in Spanish. You know what? Ciudad. Big in Spanish. Grande. And interesting thing, grande can be either for male, female, feminine, masculine. Grande. El grande, la grande. It doesn't matter. Capital, capital. This city is as big as the capital. Esta ciudad es tan grande como la capital. Esta ciudad es tan grande como la capital. Esta ciudad es tan grande como la capital. And the last one. My parents are as affectionate as yours. My parents are as affectionate as yours. Parents in Spanish, padres. Affectionate in Spanish, cariñosos. Mis padres son tan cariñosos como los tuyos. Mis padres son tan cariñosos como los tuyos. Okay, so now we move to the comparatives of superiority. They are used in order to indicate that one element has a characteristic to greater degree than another one. And in English we say subject one, verb to be. We use the comparative adjective, which would be If it's 1-2 syllables, smarter, better, faster, or if it's more than 2 syllables, more intelligent, and we use than and then subject to. That would be the structure in English, right? In Spanish is pretty much the same. So we have subject one, then we have to be, depending on the tense, it doesn't matter. Then we have más, and then we have the adjective. And this applies to any adjective. Unlike English, in which we have for 2 or 1 syllable adjective, one rule, and for more than 2 syllable adjectives, another rule. This is just más and the adjective. That's it. Que instead of than, and then subject to. So if I say this book is more interesting than that one, that would be este libro es más interesante que aquel. This book is more interesting than that one. This book, este libro, es more interesting, más interesante than que that one, aquel. So, once again, same thing. Why don't we try? Oh, sorry. Please take note of this structure. Keep it handy, and we're going to start practicing some sentences. So, if you did, let's start with the first one. Maria is taller than Anna. Maria is taller than Anna. Taller. Tall in Spanish is alto, alta. We saw that before. Taller would be más alto, más alta. So, Maria is taller than Anna. María es más alta que Ana. That's easy. María es más alta que Ana. María es más alta que Ana. María es más alta que Ana. Next one. My house is bigger than yours. My house is bigger than yours. House in Spanish, casa. Big in Spanish, we saw that. Grande, grande. Can be masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter. My house is bigger than yours. Mi casa es más grande que la tuya. Mi casa es más grande que la tuya. Next one. This book is more interesting than the other one. This book is more interesting than the other one. Book, libro. Interesting, we already saw that. So, this book is more interesting than the other one. Este libro es más interesante que el otro. Este libro es más interesante que el otro. Super easy. Winter in this city is colder than on the coast. Winter in this city is colder than on the coast. Winter in Spanish, invierno. City in Spanish, ciudad. Cold in Spanish, frío. Coast in Spanish, costa. Winter in this city is colder than on the coast. El invierno en esta ciudad es más frío que en la costa. El invierno en esta ciudad es más frío que en la costa. Next one. My car is cheaper than yours. My car is cheaper than yours. Car, carro. Cheap, barato. My car is cheaper than yours. Mi carro es más barato que el tuyo. I think it can be also translated as económico. Let's stick to barato. Mi carro es más barato que el tuyo. Mi carro es más barato que el tuyo. Next one. This restaurant is more expensive than the other one. This restaurant is more expensive than the other one. Restaurant, restaurante. Expensive, caro. This restaurant is more expensive than the other one. Este restaurante es más caro que el otro. Este restaurante es más caro que el otro. Que el otro. Que el otro. English is easier than Mandarin Chinese. English is easier than Mandarin Chinese. English, inglés. Easy, fácil. Chinese, chino. English is easier than Mandarin Chinese. El inglés es más fácil que el chino mandarín. El inglés es más fácil que el chino mandarín. Today is hotter than yesterday. Today is hotter than yesterday. Today, hoy. Yesterday, ayer. Today is hotter than yesterday. Hoy hace calor, hace más calor que ayer. Hoy hace más calor que ayer. You say, how come you say it's hotter? Wouldn't be está más caliente? Well, yeah, but that's not the way we say that. We say, when you mean it's hotter, related to weather, we use hace. Hace frío, hace calor. We say that. Hace frío, it's cold. Hace calor, it's hot. Okay, so my brother is more intelligent than I am. My brother is more intelligent than I am. Brother, hermano, sister, hermana. Intelligent, inteligente. Mi hermano es más inteligente de lo que soy yo. Más inteligente que yo. Mi hermano es más inteligente que yo. And the last one. This movie is longer than the one we saw last week. This movie is longer than the one we saw last week. Movie in Spanish, película. Long, largo, masculine, larga, feminine. Week, semana. This movie is longer than the one we saw last week. Esta película es más larga que la que vimos la semana pasada. Esta película es más larga que la que vimos la semana pasada. And now we move to comparatives of inferiority. They are used to indicate that one element has a characteristic to a lesser degree than another one. And it's pretty much the same structure that we use in English. In English, we say, my brother is less skilled than yours. In which my brother would be subject one, is would be the verb to be, less skilled, the adjective, than subject two. In Spanish, we pretty much use the same structure. And we say, subject one, the verb to be, the word menos, the adjective, the word que, and then the subject to. And if I say my brother is less skilled than yours, then what we say in Spanish is mi hermano es menos hábil que el tuyo. Mi hermano, subject one, es to be menos hábil que el tuyo, subject two. That's it. So, take note of the structure. And we're going to practice with some sentences. Just the same we did just a few minutes ago. Ready? Let's go. So we go with, my car is less fast than yours. Would be slower, right? Let's do the exercise, right? For learning purposes. My car, carro. Fast, rápido. My car is less fast than yours. Mi carro es menos rápido que el tuyo. Mi carro es menos rápido que el tuyo. Next. This phone is less expensive than the latest model. Phone, teléfono. Expensive, caro. Model, modelo. This phone is less expensive than the latest model. Este teléfono es menos caro que el último modelo. Este teléfono es menos caro que el último modelo. Next. Winter here is less cold than in my country. Winter here is less cold than in my country. Winter, invierno. Cold, frío. Country, in this context, is translated as país. So, winter here is less cold than in my country. El invierno aquí es menos frío que en mi país. El invierno aquí es menos frío que en mi país. Okay. Maria is less tall than her sister. Shorter. Maria is less tall than her sister. Tall, we already saw that. Sister, we already saw that. So, Maria is less tall than her sister. María es menos alta que su hermana. María es menos alta que su hermana. Next. This book is less interesting than the one I read last week. Easy, right? This book is less interesting than the one I read last week. Este libro es menos interesante que el que leí la semana pasada. Este libro es menos interesante que el que leí la semana pasada. Next. My house is less big than yours. Smaller. My house is less big than yours. House, casa. Big, grande. We already saw that. Mi casa es menos grande que la tuya. Mi casa es menos grande que la tuya. Next. These sneakers are less comfortable than the ones I had before. These sneakers are less comfortable than the ones I had before. Sneakers. We say zapatillas, we say zapatos deportivos, we say tenis. Let's use zapatillas. Comfortable, cómodo, cómoda. Gender and number. Cómodos, cómodas. Zapatillas is plural, feminine, so it would be cómodas, cómodas, zapatillas cómodas. So these sneakers are less comfortable than the ones I had before. Estas zapatillas son menos cómodas que las que tenía antes. Estas zapatillas son menos cómodas que las que tenía antes. Spanish is less difficult than German. I don't know about that, but Spanish is hard. Spanish is less difficult than German. Spanish, español. Difficult, difícil. German, alemán. El español es menos difícil que el alemán. El español es menos difícil que el alemán. Two more. This food is less tasty than what we ate yesterday. This food is less tasty than what we ate yesterday. Food, comida. Tasty, sabroso, sabrosa. Yesterday, ayer. Esta comida es menos sabrosa que la que comimos ayer. Esta comida es menos sabrosa que la que comimos ayer. Esta comida es menos sabrosa que la que comimos ayer. And the last one. Today is less hot than yesterday. Today is less hot than yesterday. Hoy hace menos calor que ayer. Hoy hace menos calor que ayer. And so, we have learned about comparative adjectives and sentences, comparative structures. So, that's pretty much it for tonight. And before we say goodbye, maybe you have questions about this. In the meantime, let's wrap up. So basically we have three different structures which are fairly similar than the ones we use in English. You just need to understand the differences between some of the words and stuff. And we use the adjectives. You don't change the adjectives like we do in English with faster, better, smarter, smaller, bigger. We don't do that. We just use a word and then the adjective. The word, it's going to tell me whether it's equal, more, or less. Tan, equal. Más, more. Menos, less. That's it. So what's the idea? The idea is for you to start practicing. Wherever you are, Whatever you're looking at, try and compare. Oh, check it out. This building is bigger than the other one. Este edificio es más grande que el otro. Oh, este árbol es más verde que el otro. Esta persona es tan rápida como la otra. And so and so. And that's what you must and have to do in order to practice this. Remember, a language is a skill. Our brains have evolved and are wired to learn how to communicate. So learning a language shouldn't be that hard. What's the deal? The deal is that we need to we need exposure to the language, and we need to practice on a daily basis. We need to do that until the moment in which the brain is so tired of translating and working that the brain starts to change connections, to rewire things, and it starts to think in the language we're learning. So the more we think, the more we practice, the more we start thinking in that language. The less we translate, and the easier we communicate with people. So that's the idea. So hopefully you liked this class. If you did, please like, share with your friends, group, social media. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button in order to get notifications. We're posting videos on a weekly basis. And also, it's going to let you participate on the chat during the live classes. If you have questions, if you want to ask something, that's the idea of that. And also, is helping us to keep on growing as a channel. This is not for this channel. This is for another channel that I have, in which I teach English to Spanish speakers. We passed the 100,000 subscribers. In this one, we are like around 6,000 something. We're getting there slowly. So hopefully one day. And I hope you liked what we did tonight. I hope to be, I've been kind of busy these days, but I'm planning some videos, some new videos, recorded videos, not live classes, about certain subjects, and hopefully that's going to be useful for you. So remember, this is a matter of practicing and exposure, repetition. That's it. That's how we learn a language. So I hope you liked, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Espero que lo hayan disfrutado mucho. Gracias a quienes estuvieron aquí con nosotros esta noche. Y un abrazo fuerte desde Colombia. Nos vemos la próxima clase. Chao, chao.